Hi, this is Paul from globaltradesoftware.com, and this is a crypto trading tutorial, but actually we're going to be using the harmonic pattern indicator, the software, so this could be true for scalping anything, futures, forex with the harmonics. But I want to go to our Discord group in the crypto trading section where we have somebody says, love scalping crypto with harmonics. I need a consistent entry strategy, but once I'm in, the manager is a beast at guiding the trade. And okay, so we provide the harmonic pattern indicator, but also the manager to manage the trade. But it's that entry strategy that Night Wolf Elite Soldier is struggling with. So I wanted to actually touch on that today, and I'm going to look at BTC USDT. It's predominantly traded a lot when spot trading, and scalping is no different. I'm going to go through a couple of examples here. I'm just going to switch off the XBRAD algo for now because we're not talking about that. We're just talking about harmonics. So when a harmonic, this is a 1 minute, by the way, the 1 minute time frame, a pure scalper's time frame here. So what we're looking for initially is when this crab pattern completes in this automated completion zone, we are looking for the long. But where's your entry strategy? Now, if you've got the EMA cloud, you really need to have that on 5 or 13, that EMA cloud, because you need aggressive entries into that particular pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this back. I'm going to go to just before this completes. I'm going to go to about here. Okay, now I'm going to play this forward. So now we get the crab pattern starting to complete. The D wave is not in this automated completion zone. So there's no trade right now. Getting close. Now we're in the automated completion zone with that D wave. You should be looking where this 5 EMA cloud is, and you were looking for an entry above that. Or you want to be a little bit more conservative. You want to go on the EMA cloud, and it's a 7. So when you go, change that to 13. Okay, it just moves it up a little bit. Okay, now let's just play this forward a little bit more. So 5, 7, 13 are sort of the EMA clouds for your entries. Obviously 5 would be ultra aggressive, 7 would be aggressive, 13 would be slightly more sort of moderate, if you like, for your entry. But if you're on the 1 minute and you're scalping and you get a harmonic pattern complete in the automated completion zone, you need to be pretty quick into that trade. Let's play this forward now. You see how we get a big move up through that 13 EMA cloud. Your entries are around about at this point here. And then the next things to note are always these C pivot and A pivot levels. They're going to cause a little bit of concern. So your stop loss has to be under your D pivot here, and you need to give it time because it may come back and test that zone. Let's play this forward now. So now we are testing that. You see at this moment in time, we get this green triangle. This is from our crypto trading bundle, and it is it's our divergence cloud. It's our confirmation for the long, if you like. So that can be changed to make that earlier in the trade. So there are options. You can go very conservative to wait for that divergence cloud confirmation for the trade for the harmonics, which can be changed as well. So if we go into the settings here, ATR period 11, we want to change that to maybe 7. Okay, more aggressive. You see how the triangle just comes back a little bit more aggressive there, and again we're on the 1 minute. You could always change that to 5. Even more aggressive. You see how the green triangle comes there and your entry would be above here. So you've got options for this entry strategy. The traditional EMA cloud that we provide, having that on 5, 7 or 13, and again when we're looking at the divergence cloud, if you have the divergence cloud as part of that crypto trading bundle, you're on the 1 minute. Get that at 5 or 7. Get those divergences being spotted earlier. So you get that confirmation, that green triangle to go long. Okay, So let's play this forward a little bit more. So we're attempting to get through that C pivot, and we have a pullback. You see how our cloud for the manager is still green. We're pulling back, and then we bounce back up to test that C wave again. The cloud remains green. One of the things with a harmonic, rather than an expat with a harmonic signal, I have the manager on day trading conservative. Because we're on the 1 minute, and quite a volatile pullback, which looks like a volatile pullback on a 1 minute, isn't quite that volatile on a 5 minute. So you'd need that on conservative. Now if you're scalping with the expat algo, you would need it on aggressive, because they're more breakout trades. These are more reversals, and they can pull back, especially on the 1 minute there. So my manager is on conservative, and my green cloud down here is remaining green, so I'm still in the trade. I get another divergence cloud confirmation here with this green arrow, so I'm still in the trade. What I want to do now is see what it does when it tests the A pivot. That's really important here for me. If we can push through, I want to make this risk free. There, we get a close above this A pivot, so that's when I adjust my stop to risk free. Okay. Now what I'm looking for is a test of support on this previous resistance zone for this A pivot. See my green cloud is already above the C pivot, which is good, so that's potentially my next trailing stop position if this finds support. Let's move this forward. Okay, we do get support there. It's coming down to test again. We've got a red divergence cloud here, but our green manager cloud is there. It's telling us it's still bullish. Moving forward, now we start to move, and now we've got a bullish divergence as well. We made new highs. Good time to actually put it below that support level for the C pivot now. So this is how we're managing the trade using the manager. Let's move this forward again. Now we're going hell for leather. We're coming back, and this is where we are right now. Okay, we're live with this. So the manager's just turned red. We should be getting out of this trade right now. Okay, you see how the manager cloud has just turned red. We'd be getting out of this scalp. So let's just play this back slightly, because the manager is 4 candles ahead. So what I want to do is just play this forward slowly. There, it's just turning red at that point on the close of that candle. So that's where you would take your profit. Another way to take your profit is if it breaks the green cloud here. But for me, the cloud is all about the sentiment, and that sentiment's just turning red there. Play it forward one more. You'll see that start to come through here. Another way we use the manager is actually we see these higher than average volume down candle here, which starts this stampede, if you like. That's the aggressive entry coming out of there. And again, remember, you've used your EMA cloud, the 7 EMA cloud, to get you into this trade. You know, if it breaks that and continues to go down, maybe get out of there as well. But the main instance for this, the main point of this video was to look for those entry strategies, and there's 2 ways to do it. With our EMA cloud, we're on the 1 minute, remember, and we need entry strategies for those harmonic patterns when they complete the automated completion zone. On the EMA cloud, we need to be 5, 7 or 13. Okay, with the divergence cloud, this green arrow which starts all of this messy cloud here, we want those divergences spotting earlier, so we'll change that ATR look back ATR to 5. Okay, so the ATR period would change to 5, so we're spotting those divergences very early on. So let's just go back a little bit in time, because just recently was another one. Okay, And this was a bat pattern this time. This completed in the automated completion zone. Now with this one, we've got A and C pivots again highlighted, because that's the important thing here. And then you can see here where we come up to test, we come back down to test this zone again, doesn't take the stop out, and then really starts to gather momentum there. The EMA cloud, remember we've set this EMA cloud to 13. If we were to change that to 7 here, you'd see that'd be a much more aggressive entry coming out of this point. I mean, risk to reward there is massive, because you know, when we're looking for targets, we're looking to actually test this A pivot again. So this eventually worked the way up and actually went through the A pivot. You see how the cloud turned red at this point here. I'm not really interested in the manager until we start to test this A pivot. Okay, on the way up to the A pivot, we're going to have a bit of a roller coaster ride, and our stop is in there for a reason. Okay, that's where we're prepared to lose money, but we get the aggressive entry with the EMA cloud set at 7. We move up, we see there was a divergence cloud entry, so you really enter above the C pivot there, so that would be more conservative entry. Again, we come down, we test, we get another divergence cloud just here as well, and then we push up to that A pivot. That's when we test this A pivot. That's when I'm interested in switching to the manager, looking at this cloud. Is it staying green? We've got a high volume rejection candle here, because that is a red candle, so it's a distribution candle, higher volume than the previous candle, and it's got a cyan dot above, so there's more, it's higher than average volume. That's a high volume rejection at the previous C pivot level. That's a good sign to stay in this trade. And then we get those higher than average volume moves up through that A pivot, and then finally we get higher than average volume distribution candle, red candle. That's the first one. That's a sign to get out, and you can see the cloud turning red there as well. So two things we looked at there. Main one was entry strategy for scalping with harmonics, because that was something that was mentioned by one of our users on our Discord group for crypto trading. But this goes the same for scalping, futures and forex. It's the same method. Once you get that harmonic pattern complete in the completion zone, it's a high probability move. You just need to figure out that entry strategy, and those EMA clouds quite aggressive, or the divergence clouds are the two real entry strategies you need to go for. For me personally, on the 1 minute, I'd probably just I'd use the EMA cloud on 7 or 13, get in early, accept that's where my stop loss is, get cleanly through that C pivot. Once it starts testing the A pivot, then we start to use the manager to manage the trade and maximize the profits. Okay, so hopefully that helps. And again, it's a good subject. You know, it's brought up in our Discord group, and I think it was really worth me making that video to help you understand those entry strategies. Speak to you all very soon.